It's time to talk about the very best comic books that you can buy this week. We actually had an action-packed week where the best comic books of 2022 came out this week from Marvel. Had a lot of great stuff on the independent comic scene. Here to talk with me about that is my good friend Drew from Comics Lead. How you doing, Drew?
Doing all right, Wes. Fighting a cold right now, but let's talk about some good comics. Hopefully that'll lift my spirits.
Absolutely. Let's hit up DC Comics first. This is going to be like our featured review of the week. Batman 127, Chip Zdarsky, Jorge Jimenez, and we start learning a lot more about where the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, obviously introduced by Grant Morrison back in the day, came from, what he's doing here, why he's been brought up, and we get some really good interactions between this new version of Batman that has done away with Bruce Wayne, all elements of him are gone, and obviously Robin, who's going, what the hell is going on here?
I love the opening of this with Superman and Batman talking, because it's a good call. It's a good flashback to the Tower of Babel. What happened with that by Mark Waid. Great story. Superman asks a question: how do you take down a man who's planned to take down the entire Justice League? And hey, you get Failsafe. That's what you get. I love how he's illustrated in this. I love that costume. I love how his weapons are kind of like more or less ghetto rigged on his arm and his armor. He's got that wrist mounted rocket launcher. It is so cool. He looks awesome but crazy at the same time. And I love Robin trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. Who is this guy? He is so confused right now.
And this is once again, much like Batman 126, this is an all-out, really a fight issue. Yes, we do get the information at the beginning, and there are some conversations here and there, but it's mostly these two trying to not die while Failsafe is really just, Terminator style, running them down, trying to murder them over and over. Absolutely action-packed. And Jorge Jimenez, I think Chip Zdarsky is going out of his way to make sure Jorge Jimenez has every opportunity to illustrate the best Batman comic book of his life every single month that we get one of these issues, and it definitely shines through here.
It absolutely does. Yeah, the art is terrific, and the fight scenes are amazing. It's so fast-paced and kinetic. Fighting in the Batcave. I love seeing this. They're trying to escape through the Batcave in different rooms, different caverns. If you've been off the Batman boat for a while, you need to jump back on right now, because it is so much fun.
I definitely like the response, even from the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, when Failsafe was about to rip down like an Alfred picture, a portrait of him and Bruce. They're like, no, that's not the one that you get ripped out.
Yeah, yeah, it's great stuff. I love it. Just I was reading the backup to this too. Apparently, in the next issue, we're going to get the Zur-En-Arrh year one. We're going to get the year one of him, how he came about in the backup. So that's going to be very interesting to find out. I can't wait to read that.
Absolutely. Both Chip Zdarsky and Ram V, the new writers for Batman and Detective Comics, are going in the Wayback Machine, bringing some elements that we haven't seen in Batman for a long time. Definitely pick up Batman 127. That's easily the best thing DC Comics put out this week. Definitely recommend that one. Let's hit up the indie comic scene. I didn't even realize that Eratic was coming back this week, but we got Eratic Recharge #1 from AWA Studios. Carrie Andrews once again writing and illustrating. Back in high school, he's got all the teen angst that was going on around him. He can only be a superhero for 10 minutes. He's ready to go out there and save the world again. But now do we have barbarian princesses from other dimensions coming in here? Absolutely fantastic stuff. Wonderfully illustrated. I was so happy for a return to Eratic. And this isn't a one-shot. This is actually going to be a miniseries as well.
Yeah, this was so much fun, so fast-paced. Another one, very fast-paced and kinetic. And I love the kids. I love the interactions in this. I love Eratic's interaction with the barbarian teenage girl who's trying to kill him. And I love his girlfriend's reaction to her trying to kill him. And I love his Eratic's girlfriend trying to tell him, hey, what are you doing? You need to use your power. You need to save us. He's like, no, I can't use it because it's gonna be bad. It's not good news. Like, it feels like a good love letter to Spider-Man. If you love Spider-Man, you will truly love this. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely loving Eratic. Glad that it came back. Let's go over to Image Comics, and we've got a lot of Image Comics we're going to talk about. I'm recommending Starhenge, The Dragon and the Boar #3, Liam Sharp writing and illustrating. The first two issues I thought were more dense than this one. We're starting to get closer to where the past, the present, and the future are going to start merging in as we're telling this story deeply steeped in like Celtic lore and stuff, but also telling the story of Stonehenge. And we got, Arthur and Uther and Merlin and everything happening right here. But it's the art that really, that's the reason to buy this comic book. Although I think the story is better than I think you do.
The story's gotten more understandable with this issue. It really started to make sense in this. We got the origins of the Arthurian legend. We find about his father Uther and the origins of Stonehenge. I thought this was a very, very fun story. Every issue, the art has been perfect. But yeah, this is the first time I really felt like I could follow the story as well as enjoy the art. So yeah, I really do recommend this issue. This is a strong issue.
If you're somebody that likes to drop money on really good, high-quality comic book art and you haven't picked up Starhenge, the first 2 issues are a little bit dense, but if you love great comic book art, this is the comic book for you. Now let's go over to something else that features great comic book art from Image Comics. A Town Called Terror, number 6, Steve Niles, Simon Krasinski. You've been on the bandwagon of this comic book from issue number 1.
This issue was the final showdown between father and son. It really is a final throwdown. These two just go at it. I loved it. But who wins? And you got to read to find out. And we see what happened to the hero's wife. Find out where she wound up at. And it looks like whatever happened to her, not good news. And it's not exactly the end, because this is possibly leading into another mini series of this. This was so incredibly fun and a truly great horror series that is really firing on all cylinders. If you want that, you're going to get that in this.
Absolutely. Image Comics was on fire this week. The next recommendation, also one of your big ones, Prodigy, the Icarus Society, number 3, Mark Miller, Matteo Buffagni. Going back to like the Prodigy series, we know we're going to see this in other forms of media in the future. This thing has been absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, and what was great about this issue is that we get more insight into the Icarus Society itself, and we see some of the relics or people that they've collected over the years, like Jane Mansfield's head and JFK's car that he was assassinated in. We see how long some people have been undercover, which is pretty wild, and we also get a death that I did not see coming, because they introduced this character early on. It's like, oh my God, they just got rid of that guy. Why did they do that? He was crazy. It's wild. It's fun. Yeah, we also find out why our hero has been kept alive this whole time and what he's going to be used for. And yeah, I cannot wait to see where this goes to next. Has been a lot of fun. Very unpredictable. That's what's great about it. Yeah, Prodigy, Icarus Society, number 3.
Mark Miller can do no wrong with his Miller World comic books. Obviously, he's got Netflix. He's got Image Comics. Everything is going Mark Miller's way. We've also got another all-ages comic book. We don't get a lot of these that are really high quality, but if you got kids and you want to experience a great comic book with them, Twig number 5 from Image Comics, Scotty Young, Kyle Strahm on this thing. It is the most adorable story that you're ever going to see. Just the art is perfect for children, but the story does not pander or talk down to the child. It puts Twig and his sidekick kind of in bad situations, and they have to get themselves out, and it's very, very exciting.
The big question is Twig going to be able to do what he has to do that needs to get done? Is he going to be able to do it? Will he make it in time? There's a ticking clock to this issue as well, because if he fails, hey, this could be the end of everything. But yeah, the art in this, by Kyle Strahm is absolutely beautiful. It is terrific. Like you said, it is great for all ages, great for kids. Yeah, and I would recommend this. If someone had said like they had a 7 or 8 year old and want to get into comics, this is the comic for them. I really truly believe they'll love this.
Yeah, I've recently had one of the viewers reach out to me and said, "Can you cover an all ages comic every week?" I wish I could, but there really isn't an all-ages comic every week that's worth reading. But this week, you absolutely have Twig. Definitely check this one out. Our final recommendation from Spawn Comics. Our final recommendation from Image Comics, Spawn 333, Rory McConville, and Carlo Barberi.
Each of the series of the Spawns have been fun, but this one is one of the better. Not as good as Gunslinger, but it's good. Yeah, we have a team of 4 people that include Haunt. They need to take down Spawn to get his way of opening the dead zones. And some are more hesitant than others, but it also appears that someone else may have found another way into the dead zones, another way, another place. Also, that's a factor, is that Spawn has been fighting for so long that he hasn't had time to recover or rest. Is he going to have the strength to fight these guys who are trying to get to these dead zones? I love we're seeing the chess pieces being moved into place with each of the progressing issues. This is a very fun issue.
Todd McFarlane's Spawn universe is on fire. The indie comic scene just in general is on fire. That's where a lot of the quality is. Although Marvel put out what I consider to be probably the best comic book of the week, even better than Batman 127. Fantastic Four, Full Circle, not really from Marvel, more from Abrams' books, obviously featuring Marvel characters. Alex Ross writing and illustrating. Not necessarily in the same vein of Kingdom Come, but I do think it might be an achievement on par with a comic book of that level. This thing is absolutely brilliant. It is a direct sequel to This Man, This Monster, Fantastic Four 52. I did a brief review on the channel talking about what was great about this one. What did you think? Were you as big a fan as I was?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I got this about a month or so ago when San Diego Comic-Con was going on. One of my contacts got me a copy signed by Alex Ross from there. I read it that day I got it, and I loved it. And honestly, this will make if you're not a fan of the Fantastic Four, This will make you a fan of the Fantastic Four. I guarantee it. You will love it. You will love the art. Any kid, actually, you know what? Any kid who's like 7, 8, 9, 10, they will love this. They will love the art. They'll love Annihilus. They'll love the Negative Zone. They'll love the Thing, how he's illustrated. How Alex Ross illustrated the Thing in this is perfect. This is a terrific love letter to Jack Kirby, the Fantastic Four of old. I can't recommend it enough. It really overshadows everything else that Marvel has done, and it just really shows Ryan North, you got some fucking work to do, buddy. I don't know if you got it in you.
Well, I know that he doesn't have it in him, but enjoy Fantastic Four full circle while you can, and definitely go get that hardcover book that they have out. The Abrams book put a lot of time and effort into that, and it's extremely high quality. The last comic book we're going to recommend this week, Moon Knight number 15, Jed MacKay, Alessandro Cappuccio. Not the most exciting issue that we've gotten of Moon Knight, but Moon Knight has been very good from the very first issue, and I consider this one to also be very good, although it's got a lot more world building and character building aspects to it. A lot of Mark Spector talking to his therapist and how things are working around. We do learn a little bit about the Tudor vampires and all that stuff. I think they probably could have pushed the action even a little bit in this comic book, but I still enjoyed it because I'm enjoying the series.
It's not the best. It's not the worst. Like the last 2 issues, they're just kind of, I don't want to say they're treading water. They're doing it right. They're just kind of going along with it. But I'm really hoping it's leading to something big coming up. But yeah, it was fun in this issue seeing the other personalities of Mark, when they get money, come across some money, like how they're going to spend it, especially Steve Grant. I love seeing that. That's pretty funny. And we also find out who the 2 new villains are that popped up in the last issue, and they're not the friendliest of people. And something's going down in Chinatown. Looks like someone has taken control of it, and Moon Knight might need some help. So yeah, it's a good issue.
For the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been having to search out and find stuff to recommend. This week, all the stuff that I wanted to read, I got to recommend even a little bit more because I wasn't expecting Eratic to come back onto the market. So absolutely fantastic stuff. Thank you very much, Drew. Do you have any final words?
Yeah, guys, go to your LCS, tell them to order Born of Blood number 2. FOC, final order cutoff is September 27th.
If you would like more information on Fantastic Four Full Circle, what I have said is the best Fantastic Four story we've seen in over 15 years. Definitely check out this video. I go in a little bit more depth. I do not spoil the story, but I do tell you about story elements and what works in the comic book. If you need more information, I know $25 is a lot of money, so check this out if you're on the fence. And if you're on a mobile device, there's a link in the video description.